Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
It's a Thrive Time Show on the radio. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. It's all about you. 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 Yeah. So we bring the boom.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. Welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio or podcast download. I realize we have about 30,000 people that listen to each radio show, but we have thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world on the podcast. And so many of you have reached out to us and have said, hey, I'd like to advertise on the podcast. How are you guys doing that? Well, here's the deal. If you want to be an advertiser, you need to email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
Yep.
And my team will interview you. They want to know about your business and your goals and how your product solves problems, your history, your story. And then if we feel like you're a good fit for the integrity of the program and the kinds of things we'd like to promote, then we'd be happy to talk to you about the rates to advertise. But we will never advertise or promote a show on the podcast that we don't actually use ourselves or believe in. So I won't ever endorse a product that I'm not using myself or that I don't personally believe in. And so as an example, we proudly promote Dropbox because we use Dropbox.
Gotta love the
Dropbox.
Dropbox.
I'm not saying, Chup, hey, quick, hurry up and start beginning to use a different file storage system real quick because we're switching to a Dropbox endorsement. No, I mean, it's a real, we want to make sure we only endorse the products we believe in.
So we're not going to do Box Drop, which is a new service where they just kind of drop your packages and kick them around.
We're not doing Box Drop. We are going to endorse Dropbox.
Right.
Also, we're always going to be answering your questions with greater rapidity. We're having thousands of questions emailed to us all the time to info@thrivetimeshow.com. That what we're trying to do is break down those common denominators of the questions and try to answer as many of them as possible. So we'll now be answering 8 questions per show for the foreseeable future. So the next question we have on this segment is, how do you become a more self-motivated person? Well, I'm going to walk you through the technical, do this, do that. But I can honestly tell you, I've never really struggled with being motivated. So I'm interested to get Eric Chupp's take on this as a business coach, because he does a great job helping to motivate our clients who need that little extra pep in their step.
I got a little quick move to jump in. I know one of the reasons why you don't feel this urge to try to find a way to self-motivate.
Okay.
And I got a quote here I want to bring in, okay?
Yes.
This is from a business guru. You'll recognize the name, okay? So you got, before this river becomes an ocean, before you throw my heart back on the floor, oh, baby, I reconsider my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I wait for something more. You got to have faith.
George Michael. Yes.
So, Clay, you have tremendous faith in yourself. You know that if there's a wall in front of you, you'll find a way to get through it. And that's one of the reasons I think that you don't need to sit around and figure out how to motivate yourself, because you have faith. You know that you're going to be able to get done what you need to get done.
That is a good point. Maybe because you said faith, I'll take it a different way than I was going to go.
Okay.
Before I had faith in God, I've always had a faith in my work ethic. I've always thought that I am willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to work more hours. I might not be as talented as some other people, but I will outwork you. And that's been a mindset that I've had. John Kelly shares that mindset. I know Devin shares that mindset. I know our whole coaching staff shares that mindset. Eric Chupp, Marshall, the whole team. But here are the technical steps, the 4 steps I would give you. 1, know your goals. Just know those goals. Don't know your goal. I mean, know your goals, and then know the role that you play in getting to that goal. If you don't have goals, you can't ever achieve them. And so there has been times in my life, moments in my life, where I've allowed other people to choose my goals for me, and I will no longer ever do that again. So I now am very confident in what I do and why I do it, but know your goals. The second is know your trade-offs. Know, eyes wide open. What are you willing to give up in exchange for what you want to get? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up in exchange for what you want? Are you willing to give up sleep? Well, you actually need to sleep 9 hours a day to be healthy. No, you don't. Go talk to your doctor. About 7 hours a day, you're fine. So you know what I do? I go to bed at 8 o'clock. Well, my kids have the same bedtime, 8:39.
Isn't that great? I love that.
I go to bed at 9. I set my alarm. You get 3 hours till midnight. You get 4 more hours. It's 4 a.m. I wake up at 4, let's say. I got 7 hours of sleep, baby. And I have to make myself lay there. I have to say, self, stay in here for 7 hours. Because I'm so excited about the next day, but I know my goals. Like a raging bull, I'm running towards my goals every day. When you see the running of the bulls, Paul, have you ever seen the running of the bulls on ESPN or ever watched a video on YouTube or some highlight of the running of the bulls?
I absolutely have, Clay. It's not something I would do myself, but I can.
Let me kind of
That's called the
relate
running
this.
of the bull. I thought it was the running of the idiots,
That is true. The running of the idiots. The bulls are laughing.
which is closely followed
But
by the running of the bulls.
Let me tee up this idea. The bull, they wave that red flag, and I'm not sure how it works. I'm not aware of the whole technology involved there, but apparently that irritates the bull. And if the bull is not sufficiently angry, they do things to irritate the bull. And they all try to run away from the bull. But the point is, the bull knows where it's going. It's charging fast and powerfully. Paul, do you know your goals, and what role does knowing your goals play in your life?
I absolutely do, Clay. I've always been, and even before I was taught to be goal-oriented, I guess I was goal-oriented. I just knew I saw things that I wanted to accomplish, and I worked for them. I'm like you. I think action is more important than motivation because motivation comes from action. And, it's just being disciplined and looking forward and being proactive in what you do. And that's what we teach our clients at hoodcpas.com is to define where they want to go, and then we will help them design the roadmap to get there.
Now, once you know your goals, you have to schedule them into your to-do list. So move number 3 is you have to update your to-do list daily.
Wait, daily?
You have to have one to-do list for your one life, and you have to update it daily, and you have to have one calendar. You've got to have a calendar, and that calendar must be updated daily. The discipline is the bridge between the goals, according to Jim Rohn, the best-selling author. He once said, discipline is the bridge between the goals and accomplishment. Steve Jobs piles on to say, people think that focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. I'm actually as proud of the things that we haven't done as the things I have done. So once you know what you have to do, then you have to start saying no to things. So as an example, I don't want to learn to ski. So I don't want to learn. So we're like, oh, it's so fun. No, listen, I'm afraid of the mountains. I'm afraid of height. I like to see them. I don't want to go to them. I'm afraid of height. I'm afraid of speed. I'm afraid of anything that causes adrenaline to increase. I'm afraid of variety. I'm afraid of meeting new people. I'm afraid of skiing.
Sounds like you would love it. I don't know.
What's the problem?
But there are people out there who are, I'm serious, people in my life who've said, you need to go skiing. And I'm like, okay, I will not go. You should go. I don't want to go. I'm not. Finally, I said, because it's easier, I think. I'll just do it.
Okay, fine.
Twice. One, I almost fell off like a 40-foot high ski lift because I'm afraid. And I keep looking down like, oh my gosh, and I almost fall off, like hanging on for my dear life. Not good.
No.
So I don't want to. So now I've learned when you say, hey, let's go fishing, I say no as soon as possible. In fact, no is now my default for anything. You say, can we go? No. And then I almost have to go, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But I say no first.
Right.
The other thing is I do want to optimize the profitability and my parenting skills and the happiness of my life. And so I do make the trade-offs needed to get better in those areas. So I want to ask Devin and Eric Chupp the same question. As it relates to being a good father, because you both are fathers, people always want you to go to a new conference, a new marriage seminar, and there's lots of them out there, and there's never not one. There's always a new one at the Expo Center or at some upcoming thing, and you're always being asked, how do you decide, Devin, as a father, what marriage seminars and conferences do you go to? There's always a new church someone wants you to try out. How do you decide what churches to go to? How do you decide what to say yes or no to as a father, as a man?
Well, a lot of it comes back to our family goals. So our family has certain goals that we want to hit, both spiritually and just as a cohesive unit. We want to be a team that's headed in the same direction. And so for us, it's all about communication. We want to make sure that we're all on the same page and heading towards those goals. So we say yes to the things that align with those goals, whether it's for myself being a better father, meaning spending more time with the family. I can't always be working, which I enjoy doing, but I actually have to spend some time with the family.
That's ridiculous.
Man.
And going to church, that's one of our values as a family. Church is big in our lives, and so we want to spend that time at church, and also in our own family.
But Chuck, the society is always pulling on us, wanting us to go to this conference, this thing, this seminar, go read this book. You should read this book. You've got to go see that movie. Oh my gosh, you got to go to this parade. There's always a birthday party. Think about this. If you know 50 people, there's always a birthday party.
That's every weekend.
If you have a family, there's always a birthday party. Mm-hmm. If you are a human, there's always a new movie you should see. There's always a social media post you need to respond to. How do you say no? I mean, what filter do you run things through to say no to things?
Well, first of all, I'm feeling great because of that buttery, smooth Devin Woolery voice.
Ooh,
He just put me into a zone right there. But one thing that Devin said is you and your family, you kind of go over those goals. Well, one of the things you have to do is actually set those goals with your family, right? You have to even know if you're on the same page before you can head in the same direction.
So like with my wife and I sat down with her a few years ago. I said, so baby, here's the deal. I want to go to every single Patriots game. So we're going to be moving into a Jetstream, one of those trailers.
Just going to drive.
And we're going to be living below our means all the time because we're going to be saving up every freaking dollar to go watch the wicked awesome Tom Brady put on a devastation tour around the world. His hair, he's grown out the hair this year. The lettuce is fabulous. It's going to be awesome. And my wife looks to me and says, forget about it.
Yeah, not going to happen. Yeah. So you have to know those goals. So you have to actually block out time to sit down with those people in your life and say what those goals are. And then I just want to reiterate the Steve Jobs quote, say no to stuff. Okay?
Say no.
It's your life. It's your time. It's not unlimited. Don't be afraid to, if somebody's upset with you for saying no, that's their problem.
So how do you, the question, Paul, is how do you become more self-motivated? Know your goals. Know the role you play in those goals. Know the trade-offs you're going to make. Have one to-do list and have one calendar. And if you're always in the pursuit of a goal, then you're always going to be motivated. But if you don't have a goal, am I missing something, Paul?
You're not missing anything. And, the fun part of all of that is once you sell out and you love what you do, it's not hard work. It's all a self-perpetuating system where you know what your purpose is, you know what your goal is, you know where you're going, and you see little steps along the way. And so once you start, you have to take those steps. Then motivation comes along by itself. You don't have to be motivated to start, but you have to start to be motivated.
Oh, you have to start to be motivated. You don't have to be motivated to start.
Action breeds satisfaction.
Ooh. So
that one's free.
So if you are listening today and you say, you know what, I know that I need to take some action this year. I need to get myself motivated. I got to get moving. Life is passing me by. I need a catalyst event. I need something to get me fired up for this year. Chup, can you tell them about their workshop and how all the listeners can get 2 free tickets?
So the cool thing about the workshop is that you're going to actually leave with items that you can put into action that are going to change your life and your business. They're going to move the needle in the right way, okay? So if you need to come out to our conference and you want 2 free tickets, all you got to do is find us on Google. So Google search Thrive Time Show, open up in iTunes or Stitcher.
So use Google.
The Google machine.
What if I want to use Bing?
Don't.
Okay.
All right, open it up and then subscribe and then rate and review the podcast. Screenshot that review and send it to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Include your phone number and we're going to get you 2 free tickets. They're $99 each, but they're going to be free for you and your partner. And you guys come out to the next workshop February 16th and 17th.
We are selling out those tickets. Act fast, act now. Go to thrivetimeshow.com to book those tickets or give us a review on iTunes and we'll give you free tickets. Either way, stay tuned. It's the Thrive Time Show on your radio.